All right, so in this session today, we are going to be talking about going to complete the other steps in here. So the previous session, we talked about creating your ugly sales funnel. In the previous session, I actually gave you guys this homework, which is basically Gary Bencivenga's persuasion equation, where we talked about the urgent problem. We talked about the unique promise. We talked about having unquestionable proof, and then you want to have user-friendly proposition. And we talked about how to incorporate that in either the form of a sales video or in the form of a sales letter. Okay, but the whole purpose of the last presentation, and I know I need to send you guys the slide deck. We are finalizing the graphics and it's going to be sent over in 2 weeks' time. But basically, in the last session, we talked about this step, right? How do you get your ugly sales funnel up, which is really just 3 pages. I want you to have a sales page with a simple order form, buy now button that either links to Stripe or PayPal that goes to a thank you page. All in all, it means that in order to have this step complete, you would have your own domain name, so your website name.com with the sales page or sales video. You would have a very simple design that you can outsource to someone on Upwork, a simple website copy that is based upon the copy that I shared with you in the last session. And you will have a video that's optional. You would have some testimonials, if possible, which is optional. And then this next session, I want to talk about like how do you fulfill the promise that you made in the ugly sales funnel step. Okay. Let me know in the chat if you have done this step. Copy and paste your answers if you have done your homework, so I can look through it as well later, right? But if you've done the 4 things that we've talked about, put in the chat so that I will be able to look through it as well. Okay. So with that said, let's talk about how do you deliver this in a members area. Now, obviously, the way I've been teaching you guys to build up your funnels and all of that is basically through ClickFunnels. If you do not have a ClickFunnels account yet, you can get all of our funnels together with our members area funnels, but you need to have an account first. You can go to pengjoon.com/click. Okay, I'm just going to put it over here. I believe that like 95% of you should have an account now, but pengjoon.com/click if you want to create these things easily rather than the long, hard way, which is using WordPress. It's free. WordPress is free, but it's going to be a lot more painful. Okay, so let's talk about ClickFunnels and how you can easily create your members area. Okay, now to create your members area, a members area is really just 2 things. You need to have a members page where they actually get to create their account and log in. And this step is super simple inside ClickFunnels. As always, I do not want to spend time on low-level tech stuff because you can easily learn that by watching a free video tutorial inside ClickFunnels. That's like 5 minutes long to show you how to do it. But rather, I want to focus on strategy, high-level strategy. Okay, so I want to talk about how do you actually create a product, an offer in your members area that will really serve your audience at a much higher level. Okay, so this actually applies to how I'm building up the members area for you guys as well in terms of this $1 million coaching and training. Okay, so how I think about this all the time is basically, first of all, it comes back down to the framework. Remember this? Remember the big picture offer where I talk about the start of phase 2? I talked about you want to have your framework, right? So for example, when I created my framework for content multiplier formula, I know that in my members area, I want to have these 9 steps in there. I know that when I created the members area for my platform closing, I would have these 4 sections. I know that when I created my product, my offer, teaching people how to run live events for Event Codex, these were the 5 things, the 5 sections, the 5 steps that I would want to cover that I know would help a person who's interested in running a live event do those steps. So what does this mean for you? So what this means is when it comes to building the members area, you first, okay, so let's begin with this, okay? So let's start with this session. So this session is about building up your members area. What makes a really good product, a really good offer, and include it in your members area. So inside your members area, we first begin by thinking about what are the 5 steps. Okay, so when I say 5, this could be X, 5 steps, 7 steps, 9 steps. And these steps are basically based upon your framework, right? How many steps there are is dependent on your framework. So I always begin with the end in mind. Like in order for, we got to understand one thing, okay? We got to understand that a person pays you money because they're going to receive value, right? That's all it is. Money is just an exchange of value. So when a person pays you $97 or $500 or $2,000, it is because they believe they're going to receive something of more value. That's why they're giving you that money. So you got to ask yourself, what is the result I generate for this person so that the value the amount they give me, which is $50, $500, $2,000, is easily more than the amount I'm charging them. That's why they're giving you money, right? So based on that, that's where you create the steps, the 5-step system, 9-step system in order to make this happen, okay? So back to this example over here. So back to this example, we are going to create the action steps, okay? So action steps. So let's, for example, okay, so let's say the 5 steps. Okay, so let me just compress this down so that there's no confusion. Okay, so again, do it together with me. What is your 5 steps? Okay, so 3 steps, 5 steps, 9 steps. You have seen all of the different, some different examples, right? So when I did internet income intensive was 5 steps, right? Content multiplier formula was 9 steps. For proven presentations and platform closing, this was 4 steps, right? So event codex, 5 steps. I always begin with the framework. Now, once I have the framework, so let me know, like, if you have this figured out, how many steps, okay? And what are those steps? So what are those steps? Okay, what are those steps? So for example, event codex, and I'm purposely giving you an example here so that you can kind of give you clarity on your own product or offer. What are those steps? So list down those steps. So for example, event codex is basically number 1, you need to sell the tickets. Okay, number 2, you need to get them to show up. Number 3 is what to teach at the event. Number 4 is how to upsell. And number 5, leveraging the event. I know that for a person to run a successful live event, these are the 5 steps they need to master. So what is your formula, right? So let's say if I want to teach a person Facebook, for example, okay, I know that maybe step 1 is understanding tracking. This is where I will ask them to show them how to install all the pixels and stuff like that. Once they have tracking, maybe I need to show them how to do market research and their audiences. Okay, then maybe after that, number 3 is how to run the ads, right? Number 4, maybe it's basically tweaking it. And number 5, perhaps it is scaling it. Okay, so in order for a person to pay me money to learn Facebook, right, I can say like, this is my 5-step process. Now I made this off the cuff, this is not real, okay? But I'm asking you to think about what are the steps in order to help them get the result they want to generate, okay? What are the steps needed to help them get the result they want to generate? So who here, let me know in the chat, okay? You already have your steps kind of like figured out, okay? Because this was like a session that we did, I think like 2-3 sessions ago when we talked about the big picture, right? Let me know in the chat if you have your steps figured out. Okay, I'd love to hear from you guys as well so that I can give you feedback on it and coach you on either how to improve it or if it's good to go so that it delivers, so that a person will gladly give you money for it, okay? Post your steps in the chat if you have it. I'll take a look at it. And once you have those steps, okay, post it in the chat. Once you have those steps, then the question is what to do next, right? So in order to serve people at the highest level, we need to understand that there are different layers of content, okay? Layers of content. So at the lowest level, okay, lowest level is this, it's theory. You might have seen me say this before if you've attended Internet Mastery Retreat. I'll just quickly say it again. Lowest level is theory. This is basically professors teaching in university and nothing wrong with that. But problem is they're not a practitioner. They've never really done it themselves. Next one is tactical. These are showing them the steps, the moves, the strategy. But if you want to make it transformational, it's got to be something more than just the steps, okay? And the highest level is basically transcendence, okay? So now these two levels over here, if you want to create really good content that's life-changing, that people will thank you for, that people will gladly give you money for, it's got to be something that is bigger than just the theory and tactical. This is what most marketers and people will do if they're selling stuff. They'll give them the theory. Maybe if they're a little bit better, they'll give them the steps or the strategy, which is tactics. But to create true change in it and have transformation, it needs to deal with, now this is basically the belief, the mindset, the habits of the person, okay? Okay, this is basically these two levels here, okay? Over here, these are the steps, the strategy, okay? Theory is self-explanatory. So if we want to create a really good training, a really good product, a really good offer for somebody, how do we create that? We got to think about the personal development of that person, okay? So that means, now no matter how dry or boring your topic is, if you are in Forex, you still need to talk about the mindset of trading. Even if you're into sports, we all know that champion athletes, the ones that differentiate the top 1% from everybody else, is because of their mindset, right? It is usually tested and challenged when they're losing and how they bounce back from losing to actually winning. So all of the greatest type of products and offers is not just tactics, but a balance between mindset and the theory. So how do you provide this in your product? This is where, rather than just giving the steps and theory, okay, so here's what you need to do. So for example, let's take this call. This call right now, I'm just teaching, and it's basically theory based on stuff that I've done. It's also tactical because I'm showing you stuff, but many times I'm trying to incorporate habits by giving you guys, number one, homework, right? So what's the habit? Habit of taking action, right? When you come to my events, you know I talk a lot about beliefs and mindset and personal development. So what that means is, in your members area, you should have something that teaches them theory. So let's say the video teaches them theory, but you want to have an action step below that video or the thing that you're giving them. Like, what are the steps to do right now after you go through this step? Okay, so let's say you have these 5 things, right? So after you teach what tracking is, you need to have a, okay, action step to set up tracking. Okay, step 1, install Facebook Pixel. Step 2, install Pixel Helper, yada, yada, right? So you want to have action steps. What makes it also really good is if you have, now this is where you have the done for you stuff. Okay, remember, if you promise them the offer, something that we talked about in the earlier sessions, that we'll also deep dive later inside phase number 3, which is basically 6 figures, going to 6 figures. You need to have the done for you stuff. So this is like the blueprints, the mind maps, the cheat sheets, right? Stuff that the swipe files, stuff that's kind of like done for them, so that they just need to like copy and paste it, because this will give them high perceived value. You also would want to have things like habits. Okay, so for example, like rather than just giving them things to do, give them a new lifestyle or a new habit. So for example, in our previous session, I believe that we talked about like one of your markets was targeting boring housewives. Remember our session like 1 or 2 sessions ago, right? Bored housewives who is sick and tired of doing chores. So if you were to give them a habit, the habit would be, what was the example I gave? When you're washing your dishes, you want to be singing out loud your favorite song every time you wash dishes, right? If that's a thing. So now you're not just teaching them theory, you're not just telling them, oh, you got to be happy when you wash dishes, because that's just theory. Yeah, it's easy to say it. But because you gave them a habit, an action step, that can change their belief and their association with washing dishes. Okay, so that's another way to kind of increase the value of your training, your product, or your offer. Okay, so now going back to the members area, this is how you develop the members area. Now, I know that of course this thing is easier said than done, okay? But I can tell you that we can create a members area fairly quickly once we have the framework in place, okay? So you notice that I'm always stressing upon frameworks, because once you have the framework, it's actually easy to develop the bits and pieces, but you must have the big picture in first, okay? So what I can see here is, I see that Clara, you have pasted the thing in here. Now let me try and paste this in here so that I can actually coach you guys on it. Okay. Oops. Yeah, there's this issue with the chat. Okay, let's see if I can put this over here. Nope. Huh. Okay, so anyway, let's take a look at this while I paste this painfully one at a time. Okay, I'm not sure why Zoom doesn't allow me to kind of post this here. The reason why I want to post it here is so that when I make edits, I can actually go it through, go through together with you guys. So let's see. This is weird. Like, anyway, okay. So I can see that Clara, you have a 4-step system. Okay, perfect. I like how in depth you've got it. But before, while I paste this in here, I'm going to put you on the spot here again, Clara, but that's because I know you can handle it. Wait, I think you think Clara did. Clara, you still here? I'm trying to look for you. Okay, never mind. As I paste this up, guys, as you are listening to this, I want you to think about how you can apply this to yourself. So again, you're on this call already, make the most of this. Even if you're watching a replay of this right now, I want you to start listing down, that's your homework right now, okay? List down what are your 5 steps, and I want to see it in here. Okay, what are your 5 steps, 3 steps, 7 steps, so that I can walk you through it and I can help you improve it. Okay, so while you guys are working on that, I am going to go through and paste these things here. Okay, so as you guys are doing this, just think about what is your framework and how can you incorporate this. Okay, good. So this is very, very painful. Oh man, Zoom, this is weird. I'm sure there's a better way, but this seems to be the only way I can. Nearly there, last piece, legality and procedures. Okay, now I can really get some ideas in here while I'm seeing this. Maybe there is a better way. Let me see if I can highlight this and search with Google. Okay, let's see. Maybe you'll post. Aha. Okay, so ta-da. Okay, looks like perfect. Okay, here we go. Clara, welcome back. Clara, I am going to put you on the spot here, and I'm going to get you to explain what your 4-step process is, because I know you can handle it. So please explain to all of us what the 4-step process is when it comes to your offer.
Hi, all right. Okay, let me go through the first step first. Just hang on. Oh. Is it still in the chat? I can't see it in the chat. Yeah.
Clara, you're a little bit soft. I think maybe the mic is. Yeah, okay, this is better. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just. Where is it? I can't find it. Sorry.
Your 4 steps?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So basically, the first step is like what you said. It's changing habits. First step is trying to integrate everything that's about meditation, doing yoga, like by small increments, meditating just for 5 minutes, so it's not something that they will feel like a burden, because it's just 5 minutes, and yoga for 15 minutes every day. So once they get used to it for at least 21 days, they're going to get into the habit of doing yoga for 15 minutes.
Great.
Right,
pause 1 second. Okay.
Yes.
Pause 1 second. Okay. So great. You are talking about the action steps, and this for everybody. Yeah. Okay. We got to remember that a person will never take action if they're not sold on the result. Remember, one of the things that stops people from taking action is, number 1, fear, which is fear of what if I did it and it didn't work? Fear of loss. What if I did it and it took up my time and I lost my time? Okay. What if I did it but the grass just isn't green enough and I fail yet again? Okay. We got to address fears first, because when we talk about health and nutrition, they have all these different. So we got to remember that just because somebody bought our product doesn't mean that they're actually sold, right? Just like how someone may attend my live event, they may have paid me a lot of money, doesn't mean they're sold. they could be at the event, but they're still really, really skeptical. Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of people who teach internet marketing. How do I know if Peng Joon's going to be different? So same thing when a person is on your first step. One thing, if you're talking about like nutrition and yoga, they're still not sold yet. They're still not sold of how is this nutrition plan different from thousands and tens of thousands of all these other nutrition plans that's online. Okay. So the first thing we need to do before we give them the action steps. So when I say action steps, yes, I can see that you have the 4 pillars. Okay. But what I mean by action steps is not just giving them the steps, but also explaining the theory and the concept behind it first. And that's why you need to spend 5 minutes doing this, 15 minutes doing this, and 15 minutes on your nutrition plan. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you explain to us, as though we're a layman right now, we just bought your product, how it would look like for your step number 1.
Okay. Like the meditation itself, like specific, or the whole? Okay.
So like really quickly, so imagine now this is the first, so imagine now we just paid, we're now into your members area, we're watching your first video where you have already thanked them and say congratulations for investing in this product. Let's begin with your training. Okay, so let's begin with the training.
Okay, so why do we need the 5-minute everyday meditation using proven frequency?
Okay, so before you introduce 5 minutes of meditation, before you give them action steps, you got to sell them on meditation, low carb, high alkaline diet, and everyday yoga, and then give them the action step, right? So action step is always the supplement. It's always the side thing, because the person will not take action if they're not sold by the main thing yet. So so give me like the main thing before you introduce the action steps.
Okay. All right. So why do we need to do yoga? Why do we need to do meditation every day? Meditation is just something like when, your computer is so filled with data, what happens? It lags, it doesn't function properly. So it's the same thing with our mind. So we have a lot of things that go on in our mind every day, and if we don't pause and reset our mind, that's going to clutter and affect our everyday function. So meditation is necessary if you would like to start something or create something that you think will contribute to the life that you would like to live. And why do we need of course, when you meditation is part of taking care of yourself. And what comes with meditation is yoga. So yoga is it's not something that's related to religion. It's more of a philosophy. It's more of a way of human beings to cope with everyday stress, and the way for human beings to handle stress and to cope with everyday life. It starts with taking care of your body, and eventually it's going to help you realize that everything about yoga is a lot like life. You're going to be able to enhance your patience, your tolerance, which are necessary when building a business, especially a successful business. And if you're taking care of your body, what comes with it is also the nutrition that your body requires. And studies have shown that a low carb diet contributes a lot to alleviating a lot of chronic diseases that have something to do with our gut health, with our digestion, with our heart problems, and with our health issues. And a high alkaline diet, which comprises mostly vegetables and plant sources, are proven to be necessary for our everyday function, so that we may function well using the electrolytes provided by high alkaline diet.
Okay, great. So thank you for that. I know it's not easy to come up on the spot with the content, right? I know it's not easy. But okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so this is for everybody. What's that?
I'll refine it for the
Yes.
next session.
Okay, so I want to talk about like what we can all learn from Clara's example, okay? So what's really important in all type of products and offers is to start off with the big picture. Now, I purposely didn't want to tell Clara up front yet because I wanted to do it her way. But one thing that's very important is to show people where they're headed. Like what the direction is, because people don't know. Okay, so very commonly people like go in through step number one. But before we go into step number one, we need to talk about like what the big picture is. Okay, so for example, in the first module, it would be, hey, it's Clara here, and I wanted to congratulate you for investing in my program, where I'm going to be sharing with you unconventional strategies that has actually is a mix between modern and traditional ancient strategies that has worked over centuries to share with you how you can remove stress from your life and become a lot more productive. Now, to help you get there, there's actually four main things that we need to actually handle. And I've actually broken down these 4 steps into 4 main modules in this members area. Step number 1, where I'm going to be talking about health and nutrition. How do you take care of your health, get your health back? That only takes up to 15 minutes a day. That's module number 1. After that, we're going to move on to module number 2, which is basically about mindset, building up your vision board, and how can you increase the possibilities in your life. Once we have that down, we are then going to move on to step number 3, which is conceptualizing your business. We're going to find out what your passion is and how to actually turn that passion, that idea, into an actual business. And finally, once we have that in place, we're going to be showing you the procedures on how to actually scale it by having the right marketing, by having the right tools, by having the right accounting, so that you can have it all, so that you can actually become a business owner, so that you can actually take care of your health and enjoy all pillars of life. Okay, so you ready? Let's begin with module number 1. Hey, Clara?
Yes,
Yeah.
got that.
So what I want to share with you guys is big picture first. Okay, once you have the big picture and people are like, oh wow, that's where we're headed, and if I know that's where we're headed, that's when I am going to be more likely to actually commit to the action steps you're telling. Okay, so guys, I want you to be able to implement this for yourselves and then paste it in the chat. Okay, so Clara, that is your main thing. I can see you have already all scoped over here, which is great. Another thing is to sell them on the commitment. We all know that in a world where everybody is distracted and time is really, really scarce, we want to sell them why they need to be doing exercise. So one thing I'll definitely say, when you guys give out action plans, you're going to say, look guys, this is not going to take 2 hours a day. All I'm asking of you is 15 minutes. 15 minutes, well, to scope out your nutrition plan, which is for an everyday yoga, and an extra 5 minutes to meditate so that you can reboot your system. And that's all I'm asking of you. It's a 20-minute commitment a day. And all I'm asking of you is to do this for the first 7 days, no excuses, so that you can see the difference in your life. So one of the things you want to do as well is reduce the risk of doing it. Because if you said, guys, I want you to commit this to 1 year, it's like, oh, 1 year commitment, it's hard. So sell them on a quick win. Like, all I want you to do is do this for 7 days, see the results for yourself, and then after that, you decide if you want to continue. Because if your stuff is really good, which I know it is, after 7 days, you'll be like, wow, I see the difference. I want to continue. Okay? Clara, is there anything you would like to add to what I said?
That's good for now. Thank you.
Okay,
If there's
work on that.
anything, I would add. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thanks, Clara. Okay, very nice. before I move on to the next person, guys, I want to say this next thing. Okay, for those of you that's on this call, I know that for some of you, you might find the idea of speaking to me or somebody else on a live call scary, especially when there's other people kind of listening in. And I just want to say that I resonate with that because I know that this thing would have been very, very scary for me many years ago. And I know that for some of you that's listening in, you actually want to say, right, you actually want to post your chat in the previous sessions, not just this session, but something that might have been stopping you is the fact that, oh, if I post this thing on a chat, Peng Joon is going to call me out and he's going to want to coach me and I'm going to have to talk to this thing. Now, I'm not going to mention names here. I'm not going to call you out either because I do not believe in forcing people when they're not ready yet, okay? So, but I just want to tell you that, and this is a true story, okay? One of the very first times I spoke on video was actually to this guy on Fiverr, okay, to brief him on this thing that I wanted him to do for like 20 bucks. Okay, so I hired this guy on Fiverr. This is probably, I think 9 years ago. And speaking to a guy on Fiverr 9 years ago was very scary for me. Okay, so, but what I can tell you is this, if that is you, okay, all the more that's why you need to do it, because it's just, to me, that's what success is. A successful person, one of the traits, and I'm just going into personal development here a little bit, is the ability to increase their threshold for doing what's uncomfortable. I just want to put it out there because whatever it is, and that's how I've conditioned my brain to work now. All I'm going to do is to do this little thing that's scary or uncomfortable for me, because guess what happens when I do it once? It becomes easier. So whether it's speaking on a call like this, which I know, you know, can be scary if you've never done it before, or whether it's doing a Facebook Live, or whether it's speaking in front of 10 people, it might be scary for the first time, okay? But after a couple of times, it becomes easier. So anyway, let's move on to the next one, okay? Next person that has posted over here. So just really quickly, guys, as I share with you all these different things, know that, again, it's not about their steps, but rather I'm coaching all of you, okay? Learn it through somebody else, okay? So this is Marianne, and Marianne talks about 7 stages to teaching kids to be money smart. Okay, so let me just kind of move this back to, okay, Marianne. Marianne, are you there? I'll need to see that you're here if, oh, here you are. Okay. Marianne, I've unmuted you, and just like Clara, I would like to put you on the spot just so you can get practice in your 7-step process.
Okay. I would like to teach the 7-step process for parents to teach their kids to be money smart, so that they will have a direction on how to teach financial education to their children, so that they're better off or advanced in life skills compared to other children who go through the traditional route of schooling. So,
okay.
And the 7 steps are as follows. The first one,
So Marianne, I'm just going to pause you 1 second.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot more powerful. And take this as practice as well. Imagine that right now, all of us, we just paid you money. Now we're logging into your thing for the first time, or it could be a live event, okay? But I want to see how you introduce your entire product or program or a live event. So just imagine right now we just paid you, and now you're going to introduce this thing to us.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for purchasing the module, 7 steps to teaching your kids to be financially educated, or to be for your children to be money smart. This module will help you teach your kids to be more financially educated compared to the other kids who go through the traditional school system, so that because being financially literate or financially educated is an important life skill that people should know. And a lot of kids don't know this in the traditional school. So if you just follow the steps that I'm going to teach you, it will give your child a heads up, a head start in life skills that they won't teach you in the regular school system. So let's begin.
Great, I like that. Okay, so only thing I would mention, add that's very good. Okay, for like off the cuff, no practice, that's good. Okay, so 7 stages, right? Okay, so show them that there is an end in mind. Like, I want to show you that it's just 7 steps, 7 stages to teaching your kids. Okay, and okay, in under 1 minute, walk us through the 7 steps.
Okay. The first step is children will know what money is for, what's the use of money. The second step is they can identify money, especially during the preschool period, and you can teach it that early. And the third step is they can add and subtract money, multiply and divide with money. And the fourth stage is the important stage, because they will know what's the purpose of money in their life. Why are they gonna work for money? Okay, and that will be a very important module to follow. And the fifth stage, once you know what's the purpose, you will be teaching them how to manage their money accordingly. And once you know how to manage your money accordingly, you can choose on the 6th stage what kind of passive income streams they can do, so that they can reach the 7th stage, which is the end goal of this module is them to be financially free and abundant at an early age.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like right now from this, I can already see how you can actually link it to other steps of the funnel. This is actually powerful, because this can be, I know you want to do a quiz, you want to do like a thing that people can do. So I actually like this 7 stages to show people and ask themselves to think about, like, which stage is your kid in? So here's the messaging that I really like. Okay, what I really like is for you to be able to say, did you know that there are basically 7 stages for a kid to reach financial freedom and abundance? Now, I know that sounds like a really bold promise for a kid to be actually financially free, but what if I told you it's basically 7 stages? Now, I'll let you think about what stage you think your kid is on right now. Are you ready? Here are the 7 stages. Stage number 1 is actually the most basic stage, which is knowing the use of money. Now, depending on what stage your kid is at, some kids don't even know what the use of money is. Now, you'll be able to know. No, so what I would really like here is if you can explain, how do they know if they have graduated from that stage and they're on the next stage? Okay. So this way you're gonna say, like, if your kid doesn't know, so here's the ultimate litmus test. The litmus test to see if they are past stage 1 is if they know that they got to use money to buy food. Okay. Does your kid know? And okay, I just want to share with you, like, and this is how you can make things this is how you can make things kind of like interesting. Okay, I want to tell you one true story that I know I can relate to this. If I sold this program, this is a true story my mom used to tell me all the time. Okay, there was this one time when my mom, she told me she was going to the bank, and I asked her, why is she going to the bank? And she said, I'm going to the bank to take to take money out. And when she said that as a kid, I asked her, then why aren't you going to the bank every day? Okay. So my mom would tell me that story all the time. And I was like, I can't remember, I think I was like 6 or something, maybe 5. And that's pretty old for somebody who don't understand what. Okay, so like if I explain this step, so at that time, I didn't know what the use of money is. Okay, so I was still at stage 1. If your kid knows what the use of money is by understanding how money works, and the ultimate litmus test is XYZ, then you know they're ready to move on to stage 2. Stage 2 is actually the ability to identify money and its value. So how are we able to identify money and its value? The ultimate litmus test for this is if your kid knows how much it is to buy his or her favorite toy. That's when they're able to identify money and its value. Okay, so for example, so these are just the different samples. Okay, now this of course have to match your process, but give them a test to see if their kid has graduated from their step, so that a parent can see what step their kids are from, and then maybe they can move straight away from step 4 to step 5, step 5 to step 6, step 6 to step 7.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Marianne?
Yes, yes, it is. Thank you, Peng Joon.
Thank you. Okay. All right, next one. Trang. Okay. Bored moms, our favorite topic. Okay. So, guys, I hope that as I'm giving these type of feedback, you're able to incorporate it into your own product and offer. Okay, so Trang, in a second, after I put this in here so that I can help you scope it out so that everybody can see it as well. This is basically 5 action steps for being happier with your motherhood for bored moms. Guys, there's a reason why I do this, because I know that if I do something that it's uncomfortable for you, where you can use this space as training ground, this is where when you actually do it live, it's actually going to be a whole lot easier. Trang, are you there? Are you able to? I'm unmuting your mic right now. Are you able to talk? Do you have a webcam?
Yes, I'm here. Nice to see you all. I'm very sorry because my camera just had some problems since the last time, so I cannot.
Okay, can you put the mic closer to you, because a little bit off. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Can you listen to me? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So hi, Chance here, and I want to congratulate you on joining my course. Welcome to the strangest journey that will pour some sunshine and happiness into your motherhood. And the best.
Okay, Trang, pause 1 second, okay? Okay, so this is for everybody. And a very common thing people normally do is they say, I want to thank you for either buying this course or joining this course.
Yeah.
Thanking somebody is never as powerful as congratulating them. I want you to remember that.
Yeah, sure.
I think that's very powerful. Trang, I'm getting a lot of feedback from your mic. Are you able to, like, yeah, there's a lot of buzzing.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but there's a lot of feedback. Can you lower the output of your mic?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. Is that okay?
As you do that, it's still buzzing. But as you do that, guys, try to mute you 1 second because it's the feedback's very loud. But okay, guys, so in everything that you do, I want you to remember, if you're thanking somebody, it's not as powerful as congratulating them. Okay, when somebody pays you money, always congratulate them rather than thank them. So it's Peng Joon here, and I want to congratulate you for taking the right step and making the right decision to investing in this program. Okay, don't say thank you, because thank you means that they did you a favor. Congratulating them means that they made the wise decision in doing something. It's very important in sales psychology that you congratulate them rather than thank them. Because if you thank them, it means that they did you a favor. When you congratulate them, they feel assured that they made the right decision. Okay, so always start off by congratulating rather than saying thank you. Okay, Trang, I'm going to give your mic one more go.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
It's too very loud.
Is it loud?
Okay, let's try.
Sorry. Yeah. Can
Okay,
I
Trang, unfortunately, I have to mute your mic because the feedback is really loud on my end and I can't really hear myself. So unfortunately, I'll have to give the feedback to you without having you on to do this practice until you fix your mic, because it's really very loud. Okay, so basically, looking at what you wrote over here, let me just write down. Okay, 5 steps for being happy with motherhood for bored moms. Lesser your stress by changing your mindset. Get more time for yourself. Enjoy every little thing like chores in a creative way. Okay, great. I want the specifics. Okay, like for like laundry, this is what you do. For dishes, this is what you do. For sending kids to school, okay, this is like how, give them the ideas for all these different things. Find out new hobbies, habits, and join anywhere. Improve your health and appearance. Okay, so this is where, okay, so these are the 5 pillars, right? Changing a mindset, get more time. Okay, great. I think that you have a pretty good outline. It just comes down to actionable. Like get more time for yourself. I want to see like specifics. What does this mean? How, right? The steps. I want to see specifics, okay, in order to make that happen. So I think the most important thing here, you already have the outline. The thing that will help you go to the next level is when you have the specifics. Make sense? Okay. Next person I'm going to go with that is posted over here. Jason, 6 steps to getting ready to buy clients using Facebook, branding and marketing. Okay. I am trying to, okay, let me just search with Google. And I'm going to paste it here now. Okay, so it looks like you have the 6 steps in here. Step 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, here we go. So this is Jason. Okay, Jason, like everybody else, mic unmuted. Go. Wait, Jason, your mic I think is muted. Can you unmute your mic? Not yet. I can still see your mouth moving, but okay. I think. Yeah.
Hello, testing.
Yes, good. Jason,
Hello,
go ahead.
testing.
Yep.
Okay, this is Jason Kokho here. I want to congratulate you for investing in yourself and in this course.
Congratulate you.
Yeah, congratulate you for investing in yourself. And in this course, I'm going to show you how you get a prospect and customer using Facebook branding and marketing, so that you don't have to begging on your friend and family, so that you don't have to begging for referral, so that you don't have to do the annoying cold calling. Okay, that's basically a 6 step over here. The step number 1 will be how to publish your Facebook page. Okay, it's not like a normal create your Facebook page. How to instantly get 1,000 follower by converting your friend to your follower. I'm going to show you the secret how to convert your friend to your follower. Instantly, you got 1,000 follower in your Facebook. Okay, second, how do you create a content that's beneficiary to your audience so that actually you build relationship with them? And step number 3 will be how do you automate your content so that you can run on autopilot so that you can remove yourself from the business. Step number 4 will be how do you find a warm audience based on the value you created so that you know who already watched your video, already know who you are. Then step number 5 will be run the lead generation ad to those warm audience. And the last step will be scaling your Facebook ad.
Okay. So my feedback on this is basically a couple of things, okay? So when it comes to Facebook ads right now, Facebook ads is getting very red ocean, whereby if you want to go into the blue ocean, where people are thinking like, how is Jason different from all these other Facebook stuff online? You got to make it so that your module 1 and module 2 is like for that you understand that it's very newbie, that if a person's advanced, they can skip it altogether. I think that's very important so that you do not annoy people that have some sort of basic understanding of Facebook. Okay, so the way you're going to position it is this. Okay, so Jason over here, I want to congratulate you for investing in yourself in this Facebook program, because I know that it's going to help you with your branding, your marketing, and your lead generation, so that you don't need to get more referrals. You don't need to cold call clients and do really annoying things to get more leads. So that part is good. Okay. In this program, I'm going to be showing you how you can make that happen in the form of 6 steps. Now, I understand that when it comes to Facebook, those of you watching, you could be starting at many different levels. Some of you could already have advertised on Facebook before. Some of you might have a Facebook page. Some of you might have never done anything on Facebook ever before. So what this means is this. Step number 1, for if you are totally new, I'm going to be showing you how you can start a Facebook page and have thousands of followers immediately by converting your friends into into your page. So if right now you already have that step done, you can go ahead and skip the entire module. Module number 2 is where I'm going to be sharing with you how you can publish your content, give value, and build relationship. Now, this is something that's less likely that less people have actually done. So if this is you, if you have published content before and you've done all these different things, then that's when you can skip this step and move on to step number 3. Now, this is where most people would have never done this step, which is automating your content. Okay, so that is where what I want you to do is, for Facebook especially, or topics that is very red ocean, where people are always thinking, so how is this different from XYZ, especially like Facebook, like creating a Facebook page, that should not warrant a module. A module, for me, if I created this, I would be like module 1, would be like basic stuff. So basic stuff is how to set up a Facebook page, how to set up FB targeting pixels, and all these things that's basic, so that a person who has a basic understanding of Facebook will just skip that module altogether. Again, guys, this is not just for Jason, it's for all of you. It's about understanding where your customers are at so that you can serve them at the highest level. The worst thing you want, Jason, is for somebody who's a good client, who has the money, who wants to learn from you genuinely, and then logs into your system and then goes through step 1 and is like, oh, this is such basic stuff. I already know all this. This guy is wasting my time. So I want you to be able to serve your high-level clients as well. So not just basic people. What if they are, have some sort of experience on Facebook? So you want to recognize that. Like, I know some of you might have experience in Facebook. So if you already have a page, if you already have content, feel free to skip this module and then move on to module number 2. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Anything you want to add to this?
The key will be how to differentiate from the red ocean. I'm still thinking how to actually find a blue ocean in this called the red ocean, because Facebook is definitely a very, very red ocean.
Yes,
So how
but the
to actually,
fact that you are doing Facebook, okay, so this is a great question, okay? So what happens if you are in a red ocean, okay, like finance, which is, you know, or money, like Mary Ann, or fitness, like Clara? It is by niching down. So because it is Facebook ads for financial consultants or property agents, that's okay, because now you've niched down, and that's how you've differentiated, because you are the specialist for this market segment. But you got to really go deep into the industry if you want to separate and differentiate yourself, so that you're in that blue ocean. So you want to go into their world. So you want to really, when you talk in your training, really talk about their pains. Like, I know that for most of you right now, you're getting your leads by posting it on properties websites like iProperty and doing all these things. Now your training is really for the people in that market. Because if I did a Facebook training, I wouldn't be saying all those things. So they wouldn't be able to get it from Peng Joon, right? Because Peng Joon is general Facebook. But you now, because you niche it down, you're now able to serve a very specific audience.
any idea for the product name? I'm still actually thinking for the product name for this, because I don't want to call like Facebook marketing, or because very red ocean, right? I want to think about the name for the product so that it become a very interesting. Got any idea
What's
for the
your
product
market
name?
segment?
Market segment will be on the Facebook marketing, branding and marketing. For the niche will be insurance agent and property agent. It means insurance agent, property agent, how they get the lead from Facebook using the branding and also marketing. I'm thinking about the product name, because I can't use like Facebook marketing, it's very general.
Well, it could be Facebook marketing for, I don't know if you want to target financial consultants, or for what's the term used for property agents, is it?
I think financial consultant, because property and insurance also under financial category. Yeah.
Okay, so Facebook ads for financial consultants, that could be a property name. Look, if you take a look at one of the best-selling Facebook courses did really well, Dan Henry, now well known in the ClickFunnels community, he did one funnel, did over $3 million, and his product name is called Facebook Ads for Entrepreneurs. You know?
Okay.
So that's the name of his stuff, Facebook Ads for Entrepreneurs, FAFE. Okay, did over $3 million, one webinar funnel. Okay, so yeah, just target your market so that you know who you're targeting, and that could be the product name. Okay.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so thanks, Jason. Okay, guys, so back to this thing so we can wrap up and you know what's going to happen next week. Next, now that we understand this portion over here, which is building up your members area, here is your homework. Your homework is, which is big, okay, you'll be able to go to the next step if you build up your members area, okay? I want you to first list down your steps. And when I say steps, I'm talking about steps, modules, right? Module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pillar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, strategy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't necessarily need to be steps, okay? Steps is just like if it's a good fit for your market, okay? Build up your members area, because once you've done that, it means that you would have completed step number 3 over here. And then after that, we're going to finalize 4, 5, probably in the next session. And then we're going to move on to phase 3, okay? But right now I'm taking a little bit slow because I wanted you guys to really understand your messaging, who you serve, and how you can serve them at the highest level, because that is so crucial when it comes to monetizing. Now, I hope that one of the things you guys will do is constantly post what you've been doing and your wait, I'm trying to, okay, here it is. And your progress on the Facebook group. Okay, so that way I'll be able to see what you're doing. That way you'll be able to motivate and inspire other people that you're taking action as well. And that's how, as a community, we'll be able to help everybody. Okay, so please post what you've been doing. I see some of you've been doing that. That is great. But ultimately, the way to get results is to take action. So please take this, like, again, the reason why I'm doing all this little thing is so that I'm able to chunk it down into bite-sized actionable steps for you guys so that you're taking consistent action every 2 weeks. Okay, so please have this homework done. I know it's a lot, but that's why it's only every 2 weeks. I believe that 2 weeks is actually very realistic to get your members area up by understanding what is your framework and how you can serve them the highest value. This session should have given you a very good idea on how to make that happen. Start building that up, because after that, I'm going to show you how to do a mini launch, and then we're going to move on to phase number 3, which is taking that from like a first $1,000 and turning that into a 6-figure funnel, and how to make that happen. Okay, so please get your homework done. I appreciate all of you. I want to thank you for, again, sacrificing your Monday night to be here. That always means a lot to me. And that's why I'm always here to serve you. And I care about your success, and I will prove it through my actions. Thank you, guys. And our next session, which is 2 weeks from now, will resume on our usual Wednesday. Thanks, guys. Take care.